Okay. All right, we're just loading to have it be streamed on YouTube. So now I can close out of this. Right?
Yes. Just pause it. Just pause it because there is chat. You know, it will be cool if you just check it. Some question.
All right. So where we will begin now. Just want to let you guys know. So this is the microphone we'll be using. So when we have the FAQ, I'll come by to hand it to him. This is how Rob hears us. But Rob, welcome and thank you for your time. It's going to be very interesting to learn about Remix IDE, how this can be helpful for hackathons. So I'm going to now hand it over to you, and we look forward to the talk and the workshop.
Great. Hello, Bruno. Is that how you say it, by the way?
Bruno.
Anyway, Bruno. Okay, so in this talk, since I'm not in the room, and I'd like prefer that you guys don't space out too much while looking at the screen. Please let me know if you're not getting something. If you have any questions, you could just interrupt. You know, I have a slide deck, but you know, we can go off deck. I probably will. And so, and actually, even to start, like, it'll be a little hard to figure this out. But has everyone used Remix before, or anyone new to Remix? Raise their hand. So it looks like one person that I see in the video.
Got around 3.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, if I maybe I'll do a little bit of introduction as well to Remix. But anyway, okay. So on to the slideshow. Oh wait, to do that, I got to go back over here and share my screen. And then hit the slideshow. Okay, so just so you know, in this talk, I'm going to do this talk about Remix for hackathons, and then there's going to be a quiz afterwards. And if you get the answers to the quiz correct, you get a NFT on Remix rewards, which we'll be sending out some optimistic keys for people to mint the badge with. This is all done using a ZK proof, so that only the people that have answered the questions will get the badge, and you won't be revealing the answers when you input this information in a transaction. But we'll go over that at the end. But just in case anyone hasn't given their ETH address to get about 40 cents of ETH to do this transaction, put it in the Google sheet that was around earlier, and I can give that sheet, that address again if you need. But if you don't, anyway, get us the address and we'll send you the ETH. Okay, so wait a minute. Okay, now. Goes up, down. Okay, so Remix for hackathons. In hackathons, you got to learn, and you got to learn it fast, and you have to know where your files are stored, and you have to collaborate. And when you're collaborating, you know, you gotta use Git probably. You gotta make some gists so that you can show some people some code or ask some help from different people around. You got to justify your code to yourself and to your teammates. You got to clean up their messy code. You got to work with teammates who may not be working on Remix. So if they're using Hard Hat, Truffle, or Foundry, and you want to stay on using Remix, you can, and I'll show you how to do that. And then you often have to develop and get the state of your contracts together, and give your contracts to your teammates, and then make sure that they're getting their contracts in the same state as yours. And I'll show you how to do that. You got to import, and you got to import dependencies. You got to import code just to check it out, and import code to play with, and import code to use, but not edit. And then the Remix has got a bunch of good tools that are kind of unique, like the debugger. So I'll show you that. And it's easy to deploy to multiple chains. It's easy to prototype and make a front end. And that's good for showing the judges. But the coolest thing about Remix, especially if you've never used it, is there's no setup. So you can get going on coding right away. And with that, you better start learning. And some of this is learning so that you can just fake it to fake your knowledge to your teammates, so they can show how much show how much Solidity you don't know, and you get up to speed while you're working on it, and while they're not looking over your shoulder. So we got this tutorial plugin in Remix called Learneth, and one of the Learneth workshops there is called over here. It's called Solidity Beginner Course, but there's also a ERC20 course, there's an NFT course, and there's a review of a basic auction, and there's some more other complex ones, and also an intro to Remix itself. Yeah, and intro the beginner course. It's got all these steps to go through, and there'll be like an assignment, and then you can test yourself, and you can also see the answer. If you hit see answer, show answer, you can also check the answer, and you're basically using Remix. And then you can also like go through the debugger and see all the state and local variables. I mean, state variables and local variables. Let's see, get that. Yeah, so that's an important tool to know about. And these are all at least the Remix, the Solidity Beginner course, and most of the Solidity courses are using Solidity by examples. So they kind of links back and forth to that site, which is a cool site for learning Solidity. And there's some videos on that site, and but it's using the same examples as here. So which may help you then using Stack Overflow to ask Solidity questions, which often is more confusing than helpful for me anyway. And learning Remix on the fly, if you're in some tool and you don't really understand how to use it, if you click this little carrot-y thing over here, it'll open it up, and then you can go to the documentation, and that's on all of Remix plugins. And because maybe there's one of you that doesn't know about Remix, I'm going to go over here to show you Remix quite quickly. So just so you know, this is the File Explorer. This is the Home tab. You can switch workspaces over here by clicking that. Here are the default contracts. If you want to compile something, you can go to the Solidity compiler. You can compile it. You can deploy it to the local chain here. You can use MetaMask. You can this will set it up for L2's Optimism and Arbitrum. MetaMask will you can deploy it to local chains over here, but you have to have these local chains running. But to get other plugins, you go down here to the plugin manager, which is basically what I wanted to show you, how to activate stuff. And here's where the settings are here at the way bottom in the corner. Okay, back to the show. So in Remix, you got to know where it's getting saved. And it's getting saved by default in the browser's storage. So it's easy, but if your browser crashes hard, you could lose your work, and people do lose their work. So it's good to either pushed to a Git repo from Remix or saved via remixd so that it's saving to your hard drive. And remixd is an npm package and it's a script that you're running locally, and it will share a specific folder on your hard drive with Remix. And so that means that you're saving files to your hard drive, and so you don't have to worry about your browser crashing and losing your work. And then here, I'll show you that briefly. So if you're in Remix, and then you click the workspace over here, you'll get this pull down, you go to local host, and then you'll get this modal popping up. So here's how to download the npm package. There's a tutorial about how to use it. And then to run it, you in a terminal, you go to the directory you want to share, and then you run this really simple command called remixd. And so then next part is collaborating with others, because since you can use remixd. Well, anyway, here's how to clone a repo. So you go in the workspaces, go to the hamburger, and then you go to the clone, and then you'll get this modal to pop up with the repo you want to clone. And then it will clone it, and then it will bring that repo into the file explorer. And then to manage the branches on that repo, you go down here at the bottom, and if you click that, this modal will pop up, and you can switch branches and see all the branches or create a branch. But generally, you'll run most of the Git operations through dgit if you're not connecting through remixd. So if you're connecting through remixd, you'd be using Git on your hard drive and just using command line Git, I imagine. At least that's what I do. And I find personally that the cool thing here is just to be able to clone a bunch of repos and get them into Remix quickly, and then play around with the code and see what the repo is about. But when I'm coding myself, I like to make sure that I'm connected to my hard drive, and then I'm using Git off my hard drive. And so, but when you use dgit, you got to make sure your Git settings are set up in the settings panel. So you do that, and then you can, see your changes if you make any changes. And then when you click one of these, like one of these ones here, you can see the diff between what was and what is. And in dgit, you don't have to use GitHub to use dgit. You can push to a repo on IPFS if you like. So this is basically what I do is I just manage Git through on my hard drive, and when I connect with remixd. So here's how to make a gist. Has everyone made a gist? Everyone used a gist? No? Oh, okay. Anyway, it's great. It's a cool thing. Like you're in Remix, and you right click in the file explorer, and then you go to publish files with gist. So if you publish this file, if you go this way by right clicking on a file, you can make a single file gist. If you do that on a folder, it'll publish a folder as a gist. And if you do this symbol up here, it'll save your whole workspace as a gist. And then when you do that, you can view the gist here. And it'll open another browser tab, and then you can see your gist and pass that URL to somebody when you want some help. So another big part of hackathons is explaining and justifying your code. So in Solidity, got all these NatSpec comments. I assume if people don't know about NatSpec comments, this is where you put your dev and your basic comments here for your code, and these get compiled and put in the compilation result. And so they're very useful in Solidity. And when you put these into NatSpec, into, sorry, when you make the NatSpec comments, then you can use ETH generator, because it's going to take those comments, and when you activate the viewer, and you might need to activate the, you activate the generator, and then you might need to activate the ETH viewer, although it might automatically do it. Then you compile a contract, and then you click the documentation button, master documentation, and it'll generate this file. And so that you can see all the functions in your Solidity code. And then you can explain basically how your code works to people. And when you have collaborators who are making messy code, or somehow your indents are not quite the same as your indents, you can clean up the code by just right-clicking on it in the editor, and it'll format the code. Oh, and here's a little shortcut guide. So if you're in Remix and then you happen to close all the tabs in Remix, you'll get this screen that has all the shortcuts. And it's nice to know, like, I'm always using Control S to compile. And but then you can also get to the File Explorer and the Plugin Manager easily. And when you have teammates using Hardhat, Truffle, or Foundry, it's important to know how to work with them. So if you connect a folder using Remixd, Hardhat folder in Solidity compiler, you'll get this button to enable Hardhat compilation. And then, so then you can compile these contracts and, push your code, and someone using Hardhat can then take a look at what you did, and the other way around as well. Or also, if you're using Hardhat locally and Remix, which you can do. And then often people like to deploy in Remix because you're just using the browser's wallet, like MetaMask. So if you want to, so your workflow could be to develop in some other tool and then deploy from Remix. And then to do that, you're connecting Remix to your hard drive with Remixd. And then when Remix sees that there's a compilation done by another tool, in this case, like Hardhat, you might have to hit the refresh button, but but also Foundry or Truffle will work. And then you can bring the compilation result into Remix and then deploy that. So it's kind of cool way of mixing and matching different tools. And often in Remix, like you're programming, and you develop the contract to a certain point, and then you want to show what happens when you get to a certain state in your contract. So you can record the transactions in Remix in the transaction recorder. It's in the deploy and run module, and just below the @ address. And it's always there. It's kind of it's a hidden but wonderful feature. So when you click this caret, it'll open it up, and you get this one to save or run. And when you save, it's going to save all the transactions in a JSON file and open it up in the editor. And then you can give that JSON file to somebody, and they can edit it, for their local addresses, and then run that locally. Or you can also do this so that you can run, you can do everything to the Remix VM local blockchain. And then if you want to change it so that it's running on a public blockchain, you just edit the JSON file that gets created here. And it's a quick way of repeating the steps that you've taken, so you don't have to spend a lot of time remembering what to click on to set the state. Any questions? Okay.
We got one.
Okay.
Hey, thank you very much for this talk. I would like to learn what's next for Remix.
I think, can I save that one to the end?
Yeah, we could do that at the end.
Because this one's more like a yammering through what's for hackathons, and we'll go further into what's coming next. Okay, so compile and run is a way of setting the state.
You had a question? Yeah, actually, we do have a question though. Right.
I'm not sure if I understood the part with the hard hat compilation. Like, what did the checkbox do? Actually,
Let's see.
Does it literally the hard hat compile? It just invokes the hard hat compile, or it does something else?
It's setting the setting one of the files in the hard hat project. I'm a little vague on that actually, but it does. But we can run it and see what happens. Why don't we do that?
Yeah.
Here. I think I make a new one. Okay, so I've shared this folder, and then we go to remix, and let's see if it'll work. Connect to localhost. Connect. Contracts. So if we go to greeter, and then we go to here and yeah, it shows me what a wise guy I am. This is not appearing. So maybe this is not the right file to look at. Because you should see the hard hat button here. And we're in a, maybe I have to compile it first. No, I don't think so. No, something's funny. Maybe this is not the right folder I should be in. Okay. Go back to remix. Is it over here? Okay. Connect to localhost. That might have been just an ancient folder, hopefully. Okay, so we're doing a greeter here. We go to here. Yeah, so we have enable hard hat compilation, and when we compile it, here, I believe in the hard hat config file, I think it should be updating this. No, it's over here. That's what it's creating. So it's setting this module. I think that's all it's doing.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
Okay. So anyway, you can set the state also by setting the you can create a script that's setting the state, and then whoops, we already did that one. We did the transaction recorder. Okay, yeah. So if you set the state and you connect the script to the file, then you can hit this button called compile and run, and then that will compile the file and it will run the script so that you can develop, and you don't have to go through the setting of the state after you've compiled the file. But also, we're going to be using a script to set the state in Remix in the challenge part at the end of this talk. So you'll get to check out the scripts running in Remix then. Okay, yeah, so if there's importing files for editing and importing dependencies. So these are on the home tab. These are for importing just files for editing or files for playing around with stuff that you want to edit. If you want to import libraries or dependencies, then you got to use the import statements in the Solidity file. And when you do this one, it's going to go grab out to, you're just putting the address, it's going out to unpackage, and it's going to grab this contract and all the dependencies that are listed like that. It will also grab local files too, if you want to, or you can grab it via HTTPS. So this is like you're importing the files, and then in the File Explorer, it'll show the list in the dependencies folder of everything you're bringing in. Also, there's autocompletes on imports, so that it'll show you all the files locally that you could import, and then also has Uniswap and OpenZeppelin libraries with autocomplete in them. And then we have workspace templates, which are cool so that you don't need to start everything from scratch or grabbing everything from some other library. So to create a new workspace, you click on one of those over here, and then you get this modal that comes up, and you can choose any of these templates. So you could choose default blank if you want to have the blank template, of course. And here, if you're choosing this one from OpenZeppelin, then you can choose some other libraries to import from there. And then you can choose if you want it to be upgradable. And then you can choose if you want it to be a Git repo. And once I put my credentials in there, then I can click that so that it can be initialized as Git, and then I can get all that stuff in, and then it makes this new workspace. With these libraries, with all these imports involved, and then it fills up the deps folder with all the libraries. And then OpenZeppelin's got a wizard, which acts very similar to this. So you can, fill out your tokens. There's a few different things here, but you fill out, what you want, and then you click Open in Remix. And then when you do that, it's going to open a file with the file created in the editor, and it's opening a workspace called Code Sample. So it's kind of a good way of getting some code in to play with. And I think that's an old random slide in here. So here's an intro to the debugger. When you go to the debugger, when you do run a transaction, you get all these lines in the console. In the terminal, and then you click debug, and you get the debugger. Right now, this is an old slide. The debugger is a bit wider now, so it's a bit easier to see multiple windows. Multiple panels here, because it's going to be, too wide instead of just one wide. But the tools are the same. You can slide this slider around. When you do that, the opcodes will be moving, and you can see some details about each step. You can see the Solidity locals, the Solidity state variables. You can add breakpoints. You can jump to the next breakpoint, and it's good visual debugger. Also in Remix, we're taking something from Hardhat, the Hardhat log, console log from Hardhat. So here you can't read it because I didn't make that. Wow, look at that. Oops, that was weird. Anyway, if you do the import console log, you can have a console log in your Solidity files, and then it will come out in the terminal. And there's in the Remix default files, there's examples of that. That's in the default workspace. So often you'll need to deploy to a chain you never heard of. And you'll need to get some links to L2 bridges. So here in the deploy and run, there's a little plug here and a little plug here. The plug here next to environment, the plug here next to L2 is only when there's the L2, the two L2 choices. The rest don't have this. But in the environment here is a list to chainlist.org. And then from that, that will automatically set up MetaMask with the specs of the chain you want to deploy to. And then if you want to go to the bridge for this L2, then it'll have links for ways of getting some ETH converted to that L2. So you have some funds on that chain. So then to move to the front end, get this, you're going to get the ABI always and remix it. It's simple in the Solidity compiler. Just click the ABI symbol over here. You can also click compilation details and a mode will come up and it will have lots of information, which maybe you would like to check out. But those are the two ones you probably want to know about. And then finally, you'll need to know about the Remix join the judges project. So in Remix, there's this plugin called OneClickDApp, also a website called OneClickDApp. And you load it up by going to the plugin manager. And what's going on here? Oh yeah, this one is about that was the ABI that I showed you, and then calling the judges. Yeah, you go to this one. Once you've deployed to a public blockchain, you grab the address, then you activate OneClickDApp, and then you put the address here, and then you generate the DApp. And then once you generate the DApp, it gives you a link in OneClickDApp to go to. And then once you go there, you get a very basic interface, which is outside of Remix. And you can, these are all the write functions that it'll show and all the read functions. And so it's a way of showing, kind of crude front end to judges. But if it's working, it's going to be clearly working over here. Actually, the other thing I wanted to show you was that you can also show the judges just Remix, and because there's the interface for showing the functions, and you could walk them through your project just using Remix and showing them the the state of the contract as it changes with each addition. And so that's a OneClickDApp, and that's the presentation. And this is the how to get in touch with Remix. You should know about our documentation is linked in the site. There's also our Medium articles, and then for the next part is the challenge. But first, I'll take some more questions, and I can talk about more where Remix is going. Because we are setting our roadmap for the next year. So maybe I'll answer that question, and then we'll see if we have other questions.
Sounds good.
So I guess we are going to be giving more workshops in Remix. And also chime in, Andy, if you want to add anything here as well. We're going to be, let's see. I'm not sure if they're going to be big changes in the deploy and run module. We're trying to make Remix more and more interoperable with other tools. I'm not sure how many more plugins we'll be adding, but we're encouraging other people to make plugins and also funding teams to make plugins if they have a need for a Remix plugin. We're trying to get more users, and so we're going to be updating the Learnith tutorials. And if you have ideas for Learnith tutorials or you want to make some, please get in touch about that. And what else, Andy? Is there anything? these are very general kind of comments about the direction, but also I think we're publicizing different ways for more advanced users to use Remix, just because it's a good tool for drafting contracts. And quickly getting to a certain point, or for testing out certain things. Oh, one other point which I wanted to get back to, which will be coming up in the challenge, is this tool over here, which might be useful for you all, is the Socrates plugin. So here's it's a toolbox for ZK Snarks on Ethereum, and there's a kind of tutorial here for setting it up and playing with it a bit. And the challenge that we created is using Socrates. Yeah, so you should take a look at there. Any other questions? Or Andy, do you want to chime in about what's future things going on in Remix? Or not?
We have a question? Oh, geez, okay.
I just wanted to ask how many people use Remix?
I think it's about 30,000 a day. So it's the monthly was something like 300,000, but it's hard to say. It's there's because if someone closes the window, they come back as a unique visitor. So it's about 30,000 a day. There's I think it's about 10,000 mainnet deployments. So it's used. Some people are using it for mainnet deployment, but mostly I think it's not used for mainnet deployment. But a lot of people are using it for various chains. There's like the range of chains people are deploying to is really enormous.
All right, any other questions?
Okay, with that, why don't we go to the end of the here? You should all go to this link for the challenge. And are you all there?
Yep, we got some nodding, yeah.
Okay, so this is this. Okay. Let's see, how do I want to do this? This one. Okay. Here's oops. Okay, so we got this challenge now. So the thing to do now is to clone this repo, and you just clone it in Remix. Clone it, copy that, and put that into get the clone going in Remix. Here, if you want, I can do that as well. Although it's already cloned, but it's okay. Oops, I wanted to clone it over here. Has everyone got it in theirs? I'm not sure I need to wait for this for my connection, which seems to be a little bit slow. Okay, I'm just gonna pull over here because I've already cloned it. And so when you go to the scripts and then go to compute.ts. And this is a script that's gonna run the Socrates proof. So we got 4 questions, and the 4 questions are in that bit.ly address. And you put the answer to the questions over here. And then once that is done, you'll click the run script. And also, you'll need to change the nullifier number. So what's going on is that it's a quiz where you're gonna if you didn't do a ZK proof, when you publish the answers to the quiz in a transaction, they're going to be publicly available. So using a ZK proof, you publish the proof. Now, a person could just pass the proof around, so other people could also get the reward by just by passing the proof around. So we add this salt, this nullifier, and so the nullifier can only be used once. And so the user puts in a different, puts in their own number. Right now it's set at 42, but it could be whatever you want. In fact, if you use 42, it probably won't work. And then so you put that in, that's kind of the salt, and then you put the answers in, and then you'll get a proof, and the proof will be written to, wait a second, it'll be written in a file in the generated folder. And then you'll do the publish solution once the proof is successfully generated. If you put the wrong answer in here, then you won't be able to get the proof. So you can't generate an incorrect proof. And the questions are in that bit.ly address.
Rob, could you share the bit.ly address one more time? Just for me. Okay.
And wait, where's the better one? It's right here. And don't worry about capitalization. So does anyone have any questions about what these answers should be?
Does that mean that we should write it all lowercase?
It means you can, doesn't make any difference.
Okay, cool.
Just can't misspell it, but
I'm sorry, I'm slightly lost in this. So we have challenge questions. What should we do with those questions? Should we answer them here, or should we answer them using Remix and the ZK proofs, or
I'll show you. So these are the questions.
Let's assume we know the answers. So what
Right.
should we do?
You put the answers in the compute.ts file once you've cloned that repo. So you put them in line 53, 54, 55, and 56.
You need to moderate it.
So he's saying those lines. 53, 55, 56. That's what he said out loud to you. What? So maybe
Let's have the example, right? The first answer is clear. Everyone heard it here. You show it to us.
Okay.
So the first answer is clear. So what should we do? Should we write it here?
Yeah, write it there like I just did.
Okay.
But the other thing is you have to do is change the nullifier to a different number than 42.
Okay, so the point is to clone the repo to our local instance, do it there,
Correct.
and fill all those answers. So what you have here, question 1, 2, 3, 4, to fill just the answers to what you have in the challenge.
Right.
Correct? Okay, thanks.
Oh, you got it already? Okay. Everyone's working hard. Their eyes are glued to the computers.
Ah,
Nope, we have a question here.
Hi, why does the nullifier need to be random?
it
is
just,
it
it's not so much,
it avoids
Yeah.
the double spending, but how?
because it gets rolled into the proof. So that if you want to be the, if you want to pass the proof off to somebody else, just the proof, not these answers, but if you're passing the proof off, it wouldn't work because the nullifier will be the same. But and only one person, because from the message.sender, only one person can, or one address can send a proof. But if you just gave the proof to somebody else without changing the nullifier, then it would not work.
Yep.
Hello. So to publish the solution, you just run the publish solution TS, or you
Right.
need to put the
Oh,
proof-
first you got to do the compute to get the proof. So either to run the script, either you click the button here, or you do a Control Shift S to run the script.
Yeah, and once I have the proof,
Then you go to publish solution.
and then just run it.
Just run it.
Okay.
Oh, before you run it, actually, hold on. You have to make sure that in deploy and run that you're on the Optimism network. So either select here or select here, and make sure that you're on Optimism. So it should be custom 10. And you should have enough ETH to run it. Did it run?
I don't have ETH on Optimism.
Oh, we were going to send you, if you put your address in, we'll send you some to run it.
Oh, put the address where?
There's a,
In the spreadsheet. Or what?
yeah, in the spreadsheet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what it's for. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
I have got all of the questions. What do I have to do now?
So you've put them into compute.ts
Yeah.
and you've clicked the button here to run the script.
Okay.
But did you change the nullifier to another number?
Yes, I did. And
Okay.
now I have clicked the button. I didn't know I had to do
Ah,
that.
okay.
Yeah, now it's taking some time.
Yeah.
Okay, it says successfully responded to all questions. Please go to publish. Okay.
So you can find that and then run that script. So it's another state of where you're using the script to set the state.
Oh yeah, so I need to change the address there in the publish solution now.
The publish, no, that's going to be the address of the contract on
Okay.
Optimism. So this is on our
Oh
side.
yeah,
So
now I see.
yeah.
Okay, but do I need to change somewhere here?
You need to change to make sure that you're on Optimism in deploy and run in the environment. Is that set like over here?
Yeah, wait. Yeah.
And did it run?
Wait, I got a MetaMask prompt.
That's good.
Okay, yeah. Wait.
The last address should have Optimism ETH in it now. I've just sent it.
Oh yeah. So you mean like the address that I've filled in to the thing?
To the spreadsheet.
Yeah, to the
Yes.
spreadsheet. You have sent some optimism to it.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Yeah, sure.
Would you have a link to that? Would you have a link to that spreadsheet somewhere? So I mean, I've got it here, but I can't edit it for some reason.
Yeah, just a minute. I'll put it, I'll get it in the HackMD in a sec.
Thank you.
Let's see, I don't, where is it? Did you send it to
It
me,
looks,
Andy?
I think I am now out of
Here, I got
Optimism ETH. So
Oh.
I will not be able to send anymore.
Don't worry about it.
Just ran out.
Okay, so I guess I'm not gonna publish that list. Has anyone successfully published?
Is anyone, you guys? No? Oh, we got another question here.
If I have the public key and the private key on my phone, is there a way to connect the phone to the PC?
Let's see, if you.
Or at least like somehow securely without
Yeah.
showing the private key?
Yeah, you can use, you should, well, which wallet, if you're using MetaMask on your phone,
I'm using Rainbow.
it may not work, but there's what the Wallet Connect plugin in Remix.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay.
So if you can use Wallet Connect, you should be able to approve the transaction there.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Also send optimism to the new address. That's complex. No. So you publish, did you? Did you publish or no?
What step are people stuck on?
What's stuck with? They're all, they're just focused at their,
Yeah, I got it. I found some Optimism ETH on another wallet.
Ah, great. It should cost about 40 cents. This
Yeah.
deployment, this transaction.
Sounds good.
Yeah, 0.0004. I might have a little bit more. I'm not sure if anybody does have another wallet address, I can try.
you need it? Looks like everyone's good.
I published successfully and now I'm looking at the contract, but it's not verified. How come? Just curious.
I think it's a work in progress. Maybe that's why. It's a very good point. In fact, I'm surprised it's not because I'm not sure if he. Maybe I'm just. I think he probably may have just forgot to publish the settings, the compilation result. But it will be. So then, have you seen the badge in the Remix Rewards site?
They're nodding. Yep.
Ah, good.
So how many so far? One, two, you got it down? Yeah.
Were you able, is it working with Wallet Connect?
Is it working with Welcome? Wait. It says, wait 1 second.
Ah, that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm connected to Wallet.
And I have another question. Did you send the 00.0004 Optimism ETH to the addresses manually, or did you have some sort of script? Or
No, that was just manual.
sorry, so because I read a Medium article, like once there were like 11,000 transactions made, like completely automatically. And so I know there are some, you can also automate it, and I was just curious. Like,
No, it's a tool we probably will develop for upcoming workshops.
Yeah, and I know that Quixotic is working with Optimism to do easier bulk minting like this as well. They may have already rolled it out. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe. I can see.
You want to ask a question? I can ask. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, also, if there are further questions for the guy that wrote these scripts and the contracts, he'll be around tomorrow between 10 and 12. If you want to, let's see how we could, if there's a way, you can ask him a question through one of the channels. He's available. So, Ethan, is there a way that people could ask questions to Jan? I forgot to bring this up before. Jan, he's the guy that wrote the script and the contracts.
Yeah.
So if anyone had any Socrates questions, they could ask him tomorrow.
Okay. Oh, because he'll be in here tomorrow.
He won't,
Okay.
he'll be available. He could, if there's a channel, either the Hackathons channel or maybe the Remix Getter channel.
I think almost everyone kind of got the badges now.
Okay, great. But it's still, if there are questions about the contract or using Socrates, he would be able to answer it.
Yeah, we somehow managed to execute that. Anyway, I wanted to stress out that it's awesome improvement of the Remix ID. The last time I checked Remix ID or used was like more than half a year ago. And it's a huge improvement, I would say.
Great.
It's great to hear.
Yeah, if you can pass the message to the rest of the other people in the Remix team, yeah, that's way beyond my expectations on what should be improved. That's really
But
awesome.
Also, if you do have suggestions about other things that should be improved, pass it on in their channels and we'll address it.
Yeah, either Twitter, Gitter, or I've also included the Discord server invite in this Zoom chat, but it's pretty short string, so I don't know if you want to post that up, but it's there in any case.
And you could put in the community channel, you could tag Jan who about any questions for the Socrates stuff. And it worked with Wallet Connect.
I got an error saying unknown account, #0 operation equals get address, code unsupported operation, and version provider 5.7.1, if it helps.
No, but is that on the wallet side or the
Remix says it when I've tried to run the publish solution TS.
Oh, but you got the proof correct.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
then yes, I don't know. And the
Yeah, it was saying like publishing the solutions ... and then the error that says unknown account number 0. Sorry, like #0. Unknown account #0.
that looks like then it's a problem connecting Remix
Yeah,
to Wallet
probably.
Connect.
Mm.
Okay. Which wallet is it?
Rainbow wallet.
Okay. I'll try that myself. Maybe if you could send your contact info, then I can try it myself and maybe get back to you.
And to send it where?
Good question. Either you could tag me in the Remix channel, or you could I could update the HackMD so that you could write to it. Why don't I do that? That might be the easiest.
Okay, so where?
In the bit.ly address.
Yeah. Okay.
Share and then wait a minute. everyone permissions. Well, I don't think that's gonna work for some reason. It's not letting me. Or maybe I have to go to this one. No, okay, I don't know what's going on. You could send me a note at either on Twitter here. Or the remix. Ah, come on. Over here, I'm over here. Just a minute.
Mm-hmm. It's okay.
Oh, here, just go here. On Twitter, you can send me a note on at Rice too.
Okay, but I don't have a Twitter.
You could also send me a note at rob@ethereum.org.
Yeah, yeah, okay, thanks.
Yeah, it's good to get off Twitter.
All right. All right. Thanks a lot, Rob. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Have a great hackathon.
We will. Bye.
Bye.